Right, you've all been asking for it since my last one when I did the Jensen Ackles Supernatural Denver 2021 panel. This is the Jared Jensen panel. I saw some stuff in the comments about sort of things going off track towards the end. So I'm just going to preface now. No hate in the comments. I don't know what we're about to see. I don't know what goes on. However, it's all peace and love over here. Okay? You know, we're all here for a good time. See two beautiful men chat about whatever they want. Okay? Let's not make it weird. So, I got my coffee in my big old Game of Thrones tank. It's bigger than my hand. It's bigger than my hand. I've got a pretty big hand. So yeah. Without, make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And without further ado, check out the links in my description if you want to help support myself and the channel. Have I ticked off all the usual spiel? I think I have. Strap yourselves in. It's about half an hour, so kick back, relax. I've got a little bit of work on the side that I'm doing, but I'll probably be focusing over here more than there. So let's get it. Texas Rangers. Here comes the beanie.
Several heads. We each have a singular head.
You're not on.
Hello. Testing. Testing. There we are.
There you are.
Starting off strong, aren't we? I was trying to come up with. He was like, I think I'm gonna go out with a cowboy hat. And it's probably not gonna last. And I'm like, you're gonna put the beanie on. And he's like, yeah. Like, and then there was something. It was like, you can put the boy back in Texas, but you can't make him wear a cowboy hat all the time.
He's still gonna wear it too.
He's still gonna put his winter hat back on.
Tooth, beanie, whatever. Hi, guys. I'm really happy to be here.
Me too.
Right?
Yeah. And
just feels right.
It does feel right.
It just feels right.
Yeah, and I, like, selfishly, I've been like, well, shit. We took a break and we had some virtual cons and got to kind of touch base, but we didn't get to feel this. I had great times. I was like, hey, can we do it again tomorrow? Hey, can we do it again the next day? But to talk about all that we haven't been able to talk about in person since the finale, and there was that. But I think we had 5 episodes air after after Vegas in March.
Yeah, I got a question earlier about episode 19. I was like, the what?
The what? Soda? Epi-soda? It's like an EpiPen?
I don't know.
And here I am back to trying to figure out how the hell.
What do you need, big
So
guy?
anyways, the other day I was...
Come on, let's go.
And when I carried on,
Smashed it.
wrecked him and nearly killed him.
That was smooth.
That's a real ice ski mask. Sorry. Back at it.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing well, man.
How's season 2 of Walker going? Speaking of cowboys.
It's going. We have one of the best directors I've ever worked with coming in soon to shoot an episode. That's right. So we're having a good time. I hope y'all gotten to.
Come on.
I hope y'all gotten to see a few episodes.
It's not a beaver.
It's fun. You know, it's Supernatural, and Sam Winchester is always has a place in my heart. And they say, and hell, you know, like when you have kids, they say you don't have to split your heart up. Your heart just grows. Like my love for my buddy Sam and Dean didn't shrink when Cordell happened.
To make room.
It just got a little bit, but yeah, it just
like
grew a
that.
little bit. So
That's a beautiful way of thinking about things. You don't need to section off your heart to love different things. It just grows. That's beautiful. Oh. Oh, that's made me all warm and fuzzy inside.
I feel like I have a big heart. I'm just really grateful. You? How are them boys? Also, what a lot of y'all probably know, is so Ackles, being a Dallas area boy, the boys refers to the Cowboys, of which we're both fans of, and now he's on the boys. So it's kind of like me doing a show about
Confusing when we're, talking football. He's like, so, we take the boys. I'm like, it was an interesting production. I gotta say the play calling early on was a little weird, but Kripke's running the show, so
No, Dak Prescott. Like, how's Dak?
Oh, right, yeah. No,
Yes.
great, again,
Football team.
doing well.
Yes.
An American.
That was a unique experience I shared with a lot of these folks earlier today. That there was some unique and different things that I've never done before.
Well,
Things I've never seen before.
and never want to see again.
And never want to see again.
Yeah. Knowing Kripke to some degree,
Yeah.
and knowing that it's no holds barred streaming on Amazon,
I'm gonna blur that. I had to stretch my leg out. I was getting cramped. You don't need to see my feet.
can't wait to see what he put you through.
I have to say, I shared with.
Okay, I'm not gonna blur it because I can't, because that's effort, but just ignore my foot, okay? I know it's a big old fucking boat. I've now brought attention to it. This is going terribly. I'm just gonna sit up. I'm gonna just pretend it never
I
happened.
shared a little bit of this in the meet and greet this morning, but there was one particular episode that's happening in season 3 that is very anticipated by its loyal fans.
I didn't expect that. Why did that make me jump? Oh, you know them videos that you get where like a baseball comes and it like out of nowhere it comes straight into the camera, makes you jump. That's the same effect I just got there. Sorry, I'm gonna go back a second.
It's happening in season 3 that is very anticipated by its loyal fans, and I hadn't been filming in that particular set yet. I was about a day late to the party, you know what I mean? And it's basically a superhero sex party. And
As it happens.
and as I'm walking in, I'm like, the anticipation was killing me. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's it gonna look like in there? And I walk in, and they rented out this big, huge mansion that was just gaudy and perfect. And I see one of my camera operators, the camera operator, standing there, and he's like, his mask's down, he's eating a sandwich, and he looks a little traumatized. And I'm like,
That's not a good sign.
no. And I was like, hey man, what's going on? He's like, oh hey Jensen. I'm like, you good? What's going on up there? He's like, we've seen some shit, man. I've seen some shit.
It's like a Saving Private Ryan scene.
Literally, it was like he was already PTSD. Like the day we hadn't even gone to lunch yet. And he was right.
Yeah.
He was right, because I went up there and Jack Quaid was like, I cannot wait to see your face. I was like, oh my gosh, what's this? What's happening?
I'm getting a little nervous too.
I can't get back those. I
Can't unsee it.
I can't unsee it. I can't put that toothpaste back in the bottle. It's
impossible.
There was a.
The imagery.
You can't say this, but I want to ask it. I know you can't answer it. Do I finally get to see some Ackles butt cheeks? I know you can't answer it, but I'd like to ask you a question. I've been working on that one. I thought it would be better, but
I can neither confirm nor deny. There was in this set. There was the set deck. There was the decorative, stuff that was brought in by that department, by the art department.
I agree.
And let's just say there was a lot of sexual, sex toys and things just all around. And in addition, there were just like, vats of lube.
That's
I'm no kid. But the problem is they looked very similar to the COVID hand sanitizers that they had spread throughout the set. So every now and again, you would just hear an expletive from across the set because somebody had just did an entire pump of lube in their hand. And it was like, ah, ah.
This isn't what I thought this panel was going to be about, but you know what?
Don't leave. If I had a nickel, well, I can't wait to see it.
Me too.
Do I need a vomit?
I don't know that you're old enough to see this.
I understand. I'll wait a little bit. We have been antsy to talk to y'all, so thanks for making time for this on Saturday. Yeah, my homeboy has to go shoot something tomorrow.
Yeah!
So let's see what people are saying. I'm gonna let him go first.
Oh, all right. Yes. Yeah, you. Yeah.
You in the mask.
The one I'm pointing at.
I didn't think I'd actually get picked. Okay. Both of you, what is your favorite and your least favorite thing you've played in other than Supernatural?
Oh, wow. I'll go first on that. My favorite was taking out Supernatural. My favorite's Walker. My least favorite was probably one of the horror movies I did. Not that I didn't have a good time, but you're shooting all night long. So it's like, hey, this is an exterior night scene week. House of Wax was great because a lot of it was on stage.
No, it wasn't.
Sure, but by the way, I had a great time on Friday the 13th, and it was filmed in Austin, but it's like, hey, your call time today is 7 p.m.
Did not know he was in Friday the 13th.
Like, huh? Like, yeah, don't worry, we'll have you. The sun comes up at 6 a.m., so you'll be able to go home. I'm like, huh? So I think I've been pretty lucky. I don't know about you, but I haven't been in too many crazy situations where, yeah, that's how I felt. I've been in too many crazy situations where I've had to deal with bad people, you know? Or maybe they were just nice to me or whatever.
What?
But I think the logistically shooting outside in Texas when it's 100 degrees in the summer, exactly. So it was just, you know, you're getting bit by bugs, and I sweat in the snow, he can attest. What? And so I'm just like sweaty and bit by bugs. I'm exhausted. I'm like sitting down in between takes, falling asleep. So that was difficult. But if that's the worst time I had on set, then I'm a pretty lucky dude. Which one?
New York Minute was his best horror movie, just for the record.
I shot that in Toronto. I had to warm it up for Ackles.
Yeah. Favorite, gosh. I mean, I might actually be currently in that role. I wanted to do a Western, or be in a Western since I was 6 years old. So awesome. I had this little sheriff's vest with like the fringe on it and a little badge, and I had.
He still has it. He wore it.
I loved him in Smallville.
I do. I had it sized up. I wear it quite often. It used to hang at the end of my bed along with my cap gun holsters. I had little cap guns. And at 6, I would put the vest on, I'd put my belt on, put my hat on, and I'd head into the kitchen for my Fruit Loops. So I was, from an early age, just always loved Westerns. My dad loved Westerns. I've some of my favorite ones are the old ones. And so when the opportunity came, I mean, it was, now, I don't know if I could say that. I'm gonna
Say it!
No.
Say it!
Say it!
Let's just say that this. I mean, clearly, like I didn't. This wasn't something that's been long in the works. I got home from Toronto and had a week and thinking like, oh, I've got like 2 months off before I go and play in Austin with this guy. I'm just gonna hang out. And then literally less than a week later, I get a phone call from my manager saying, hey, there's this Western, there's a role in it. These are the cast members, this is the director wants to have a Zoom call with you. And I was like, you had me at Western, what am I doing? Where am I going? He's like, just take the meeting first. I was like, okay, fine. So I'm sitting there, I log in, the Zoom page is like, this will start, the host will let you in, or whatever, you know. We all know Zoom now. Right? And so the room opened, and there was the director and Alec Baldwin. And then Alec Baldwin spent 30 minutes pitching me the role, and I was like, I can stop you.
I'll do it.
You had me at hello. Because it was already a Western, and I just need to know where I need to go and how long you need me for. So right away, that was it. And to be fair, like I did read the script, and the role was really cool, and it was unique and interesting, and I'm super stoked on it. But they started filming like I think 2 weeks later, and I'm like, surely you guys had somebody else for this role.
Nope.
We don't have somebody else, and don't call me Shirley. I knew you'd appreciate that because
I'm loving the dad jokes that Jared's bringing.
My name's Alec. Don't call me Shirley. I'm working on my Alec. It's going to take me a minute, but I got to work with him a little bit more.
You'll get it. You'll get it.
But I was like, there had to have been somebody else. This is too close to like principal photography not to have one of the main roles cast. And so anyway, so I said yes. We did the contract, signed the contract, headed out to Santa Fe, started work. Been working now for 2 weeks, and I finally was talking to one of the producers, and I was like, you guys had somebody, right? And they were like, we did, and it just didn't work out with his schedule, and so we kind of scrambled quickly, and your name popped up somehow, some way. I was like, okay, who was it? And then he told me, and I don't think I can tell you.
Come on!
Say it! Or you know what, don't say it, but just say something that
Right. Pretend.
maybe he was in a movie that you liked that was about something.
I mean, it's because here's the thing. I think I got told that in kind of confidence, and so but let me check with the parties involved.
Sure.
And see if it's cool if I share that little tidbit of information, and I absolutely will, because it's kind of cool. I think you guys would appreciate it.
Sure.
All right, who else? Right here.
Well, I really loved the finale, and I was just curious if...
You love the finale? We both fucking died.
It was great, but I mean, I asked the question to Jensen, but he didn't remember it as much, so I wanted to kind of ask it to you. He said, I was curious what kind of changes, or I mean, not changes, but what nonverbal things that you guys added to the
I was like, I know we did some,
in the script.
and I was like, there was some script stuff, but I know that I was like, Jared's gonna remember this better than I could. The only thing I remembered was it was supposed to be laying down, and I fought for it to be standing up.
Yes. Also, the Sam's line initially in the script, I think still on the final page of the script, was, I don't want to do this alone. And I changed it to, I can't do this alone, so that he could go, yes, you can, well, I don't want to.
That's right. Which was an echo of the pilot.
Yes.
Talk about that?
Yeah. Suzanne's crying.
I am.
What else? There were a few callbacks.
3 times tonight.
The callbacks to the pilot were added kind of like on the day, or he and I chatting about it. And it was that was a really funny scene, because usually it was like, hey, we have a scene, we're playing medical examiners, like it's long, there's some weird words. We can go through and read it for an hour, or not an hour, but half an hour, and just go like, get the words down. But for this, it was like, hey, let's go through these words. So we started and be like, I can't finish it right now because we have to go back to work. So it was difficult to rehearse the scene. I couldn't read the scene without crying, legit. And so luckily I was able to read the scene for several months before filming it. It was still difficult to get to the place where, you know, his hand falls. And it's like, okay, reset back to 1. I'm like, back to 1. I need a couple days.
That's true, because the beginning of the scene, it's just Sam going into triage mode,
Right.
right? Like, okay, an injury, my brother's injured.
Yeah.
Let me handle this. Let me run and go. And you know, so it's not emotion, not even close to being emotional. It's just run of the mill. Like, we've had injuries before. Let's just deal with it the way we always deal with it. So going from that to, and you know, for me, Dean's going like, he's processing it like, I don't think I'm coming away from this. I don't think I'm at it. I'm not walking away from this. So there was that whole shift. So he's dealing with just being, triage doctor.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's episode 100.
And I'm kind of going from like, is this it? Like, this can't, and then, oh wow, no, this is. Okay, well, get your stuff together because you've got some things to say. And you need to do that right now because you don't know how much time you have left. And I think I even threw in that line. I don't know if they used it, but I was like, hey, I don't know how much time I've got, so you need to listen up right now.
Yeah, we did it a few times. And there was I don't recall, and funny enough, and this isn't trying to avoid the question, I think it legitimately is like trauma for me, because we weren't lying on camera. We were telling the truth. It wasn't our truth, but it was Sam's truth and Dean's truth. And so that for me is like, nah, I ain't going there. Like, so it's difficult to go back and watch it.
I said that it was not at all difficult to find the emotion. The difficult part was keeping the emotion in check and not letting it get out of control. Because it was, I mean, I'm sure you've all had hard cries and your body starts to react. And I mean, sometimes it can be like convulsing and it's just like, and we could have both very easily gotten to that point, but that doesn't look good on camera. Nobody wants to see that.
Projectile tears just splashing each other.
We've all ugly cried before.
Flop tears. And just,
Yeah.
I was saying it was almost more difficult to keep the emotion in its lane.
There was a lot. I remember when again,
The knocking of the camera. Fuck.
I don't know. I did watch like some of the reaction videos, but I couldn't watch without crying. So I haven't watched them in a while. But I remember you did a lot of, I don't want to say improv, but unscripted stuff when you finally have that moment of like, come here. Yeah, there he is. All right, my brother.
There he is.
Oh, I said, let me look at you too.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think any of that was in there.
I bet we can post the actual script pages because it's aired.
Probably. And see how it differed.
Yeah, if y'all want to torture yourselves, you can rewatch the death scene while reading it against the script. Because we did a lot, and Bob, who's phenomenal, knew that like we had known these characters for 327 episodes. Thousands of days, 12-hour days, 16-hour days sometimes. So he just kind of let us do our thing, and he was like, it wasn't like we were going to go off on a tangent, and he knew that. There was just this mutual trust, right? And so we did play around, and there's a lot that's in there that's unscripted. I'll figure it out before Charlotte. Is that next?
Yeah, Charlotte.
And I'll have better answers, but I'll also check with our ex-bosses / current bosses to figure
It wasn't just Dean saying goodbye to Sam and Sam having to say goodbye to his brother. It was Jared and Jensen saying goodbye to Sam and Dean too.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of really raw and real emotion in that scene. It was hard to get. It was
hard not to.
It was hard to get through, and it was.
I'm trying to detach myself from the situation a little bit by not listening to it too deep, otherwise I'll cry. So I think I'll do a little bit of work on the side.
I mentioned this earlier that there's probably at the very least 20 sets of eyeballs within a 5-yard radius of us when we're shooting a scene. You've got camera operators and focus pullers and boom operators and set deck and props and hair and makeup and grips and electrics and director photography, all right there. And
for the wide shots, the stunties that we had just killed, because we picked it up
Yeah.
kind of from, so.
But I remember seeing some of the crew have to leave set.
Yeah.
Because they couldn't watch it, which that was new.
Yeah.
Because they were watching us say goodbye, and they knew the gravity of that, and they too were sitting there going, I can't believe that we're watching this right. I can't believe they're saying goodbye to each other. This is unbelievable. I remember when the goodbye scene with Castiel and Dean. I was like, oh my gosh, well, if this is any indication of what it's going to be like this is a wreck. And that was very hard. I thought Misha did an incredible job, but I just remember... I remember looking over at Maisie, who was a puddle. She couldn't handle it, but she also was like, I want to see this with my own eyes. And that poor girl was a mess.
Yeah, and there's also when it was initially scripted, and I don't remember if we went to blues or greens or yellow. I don't know how many revisions the finale went through, but I remember it wasn't initially scripted that the last words to each other were the first words to each other, on screen at least. And we changed that, or we had the writers change it. It might be scripted in the final edit, but hey, Sammy, Dean. That wasn't initially part of it.
That was you. You came up with that idea, and you also came up with the idea of the clothes kind of echoing the pilot outfits, which I thought was just a nice little nod to the past.
It's funny. We tried so hard to find the shirt that Sam wore in the pilot that was so fucking long ago. That I think the company
probably sold it on eBay in like 2010.
Yeah, exactly. But there was a lot. It's always hard to. It's so It had become so. It's for so not become. It had been so collaborative for so long that when we go through it, it'd be like, it'd be a great time to break in some stuff from the pilot just to help bring it full circle. And so we did, and I will go back, and if he wants to, he can do it as well. I will go back and try to figure out what else. But I know there were a few things there in that final scene. What the foreheads wasn't scripted. It was more like finding it, that the hand, so there was...
Well, and you touching my hand and saying you can go.
Oh, and then my
which
son.
was the same thing that his son does to him when he goes. That was also an echo that we worked out. Yeah. So it's just those little, and that's the great thing about being on a show for so long is these characters so well, and you start finding the nuance. And I'll never forget when Kim Manners came on to direct the show, and we were finding those little nuances early on, and he just walked up and he was like, "That's your show. That's the show. You find those little beautiful moments and capitalize on those and keep those going." And he's like, people are going to tune in for that.
Yeah, he seemed like, I could be wrong about this, but in my memory, he seemed like the one who initially went like, hey, this show is...
Really good getting the inside sort of the background sort of knowledge on the whole thing, though, with the fact that they sort of revised the script themselves, they put their own little tweaks into it. That's the sign of really, really good actors. They can take that emotion in that moment and just sort of make it their own and take it where they believe the character should take it through. I think that's really good.
It isn't about Monster of the Week. This show is about the relationships. Yeah. We can still have Monster of the Week, or
sure. That's the canvas that what's really getting painted is being painted. Yeah.
But as far as like what stuck, what landed, what meant the most was the relationships between us and Cass or Crowley
and all the people that came through the lives of the brothers. I mean, it was what a beautiful network of people we got to work with. Some of who are here today.
Many of.
So it was. What an experience.
Thanks for reminding us.
It was beautifully tragic, and you guys nailed it. So.
Let's do red hair. Red? Yeah. No, right here. Red hair. Red. I should have been more specific when I said red hair.
He's shooting a Western right now, so red hair sounds like right here,
Red hair.
right here.
Well, to be fair, this is more like magenta.
Oh, love it.
I don't know. Hey, listen.
Hey,
Color police. No, it's not. It's cerulean. I don't know.
You could have said blue and I still would have taken it as a compliment.
That's cool.
okay.
So my question is regarding Mystery Spot.
Regarding which?
Mystery Spot.
Oh.
So every morning when you wake up, you hear Heat of the Moment by Asia. In today's world, if you were stuck in a time loop, what song would be playing?
Yeah, we bougie like Applebee's. Every sweet steak in the area we shake. It's a whipped cream on the top, too strong. Okay.
Mine would
I
be.
pay attention. I know it. I'm hip.
Mine would be some song by Pink because Odette thinks she's a freaking rock star.
She is a rock star.
She is a rock star, but she'll run around her house going like, so what? I'm a rock star. I got my rockin' moves. And she'll just basically do that over. So I guess it's called rock star.
So what?
So what? Yes. So it would be that.
Okay.
It'd be like, Odette's awake. I'll feed her. That would be my Groundhog Day. Thank you. Right here. I'm gonna go to the original right here in the blue
Last
mask.
question.
Yes.
Oh, me? Okay, blue mask. Yes, that's me. Hi, my daughter.
Just because you were so excited when.
I know, I really am. My daughter introduced me to the show. This is Ava Rose.
Thank
Ava
you.
Rose, that's you.
Hey, wait, real quick before you start your question. You mentioned Mystery Spot, and I just have to say I got asked randomly on set the other day by I think it was a props person who would just make an idle conversation, and she was like, "What's the strangest way you've died on film and television?"
What was the answer?
And we were like going around, and like the other actors were like, "Oh, it was like I did this horror movie, and it was a machete," or "Oh, I was gunned down in like this 1940s movie," and they got to me, and I just go, "Tacos." And they literally just go, "You win."
My initial thought was a piano fell on me, and then I was like, nope. I ate some tacos one time.
Yeah. Sorry, that just reminded me of that. So, you were saying?
So, actually, I'm a mom. A couple of my kids are identify as queer.
Okay.
And I always appreciated how, like, organically you just introduced, like, gay characters and things. And, sorry, I'm shaking. I'm so nervous.
That's all right.
And so my question is, with Castiel, when did you know that the way he loved Dean was in a romantic, like deep love? Like when in the series did you know? Because we always kind of debate over, see, this is when they're kind of dropping hints.
Yeah. Do you want to take this? Do you want me to take this?
Sure.
So
I don't. Well, I don't think Dean really ever knew until the very end there.
Yeah.
In fact, I know he didn't because I never played that. I would say when Jensen found out, or when it was kind of discussed internally, that it's interesting because I think romantic.
I think the point is,
I think the term romantic is being used because there isn't a term that necessarily.
he's junkless, you know.
Yeah.
I think the point.
I don't think lust is involved with the romanticism.
I don't think it's the point that they both have human male bodies, seemingly, and want to sleep with each other. I think the point is that, like, you can love anything. Like, it's a superpower. You can love, somebody can punch you in the face and you can say, like, I love you, I forgive you. Somebody give you $1 million and you can go, I love you. It doesn't mean like I say that with my friends, I say it with Ackles, like, hey, love you, man. It doesn't mean like, I want to take you to a hotel room. It just means like, I love you. And so that was the point of the relationship, story-wise, is that they could love each other. Sam and Dean loved each other. It wasn't a show about incest, you know?
No.
So Cass and Dean can love each other. It's not a show about heterosexuality or non-binary. It's a show about, like, hey, You can choose to live your life with love. Not, hey, this means they want to make out. It's not about that. It's about, I can tell my son, I love you. And it's not that I want to do something to or with my son. I just love my son. My daughter can say the same thing. So that wasn't, I'm sorry, that wasn't the point of that scene. The point was, you are free to love whoever you want. You can be heterosexual and love whoever you want. You can be queer, love whoever you want. You can be any part of the LGBTQIA, love whoever the fuck you want. It doesn't mean, sorry for my cursing.
You're good.
It doesn't mean you want to do something with them or to them. So hopefully Supernatural, in its 327 episodes, helped to have people love those around them.
I think that's really what was, I'll just piggyback on what he said in that, that the love that Cass had is heavenly. It was, you know, he's an angel, so he's able to, I think, love on a level and on a plane that human emotion doesn't necessarily comprehend.
God loves us all, kind of.
And I think we might default to making it a romantic or a sexual love when I think the way that I kind of interpreted it, and this is the great thing about the show, and I think the relationships in some of these characters, is that they're open for interpretation. If you find identity in a character because of whatever reason, fantastic, great. If that encourages you to be a better person or to love someone a little harder or to forgive someone for something, then fantastic. I think that's one of the beautiful things about doing what we do is we get to encourage people on a variety of levels. And I think Cass's love was a love that isn't identified by humans necessarily. It was a love that superseded that. And so we tried to find words to describe that, and I just don't think there are words.
Yeah. But thank you, and glad that y'all connected with it on whatever level.
Hey, on that note, brother.
Yeah.
It's really good to be up here with you.
It's fucking great to be here.
I missed it. Okay, thanks guys. He will see you tomorrow. I will see some of you in autographs, and kick ass. We're back.
Let's give it up one more time for Jensen Ackles and Padalecki. I think I can speak for all of us.
I'm confused. Why were people leaving comments saying to leave the end out? I agree with everything they said. Or have I missed something? Is there... There is another one. Oh, okay. Hang on. So there's this one. And then there's this one. And this one they're sat down with other people on stage. So... I'm guessing this wasn't the main panel. Shit. That's okay though. That just means that we've got another video to watch after this. So let me know in the comments if you want me to watch the main panel, because I thought this was the main panel, but it's not. Apparently it's just like the panel, not the main panel. It's just a panel. But yeah, I agree with everything they said at the end there. Love is magical and it supersedes anything that we can imagine as just human beings. Boom. Boom. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. Check out the links in my description if you want to help support myself and the channel. And I will see you guys all in the next one. Peace.